attention, please. Before I forget to mention this, any cell phones or other devices, please turn them off now. And also at the end of this presentation, you are free and encouraged to ask questions. Okay? I'm also going to turn off this screen when we get started and turn on the lights so you can see a little better. So welcome, all of you wonderful people, distinguished alumni. We have some very distinguished alumni in the room, and teachers and students. We're very lucky to have Ken Green with us again. This is an encore performance. He was with us last spring, and he made such an impact on the students that heard his speech that we've brought him back, and he graciously accepted. We're glad to have him here. So I would hope that you all give him your respect and your silence so to hear what he has to say. Mr. Green graduated from Roosevelt High School, and to his own admission wasn't the best of students, and he'll fill you in on that. But he went on to great heights as a lawyer and a boxer, and he served in Korea, and he's a policeman and a professor. So he's done a lot with his life, from his very humble beginnings on Division Street and at Roosevelt High School. So I'll let him explain the rest. Without further ado, Mr. Green.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Before I begin the program, I want to introduce some friends of mine. These are very dear people. We went to school here a long time ago. They made a good life for themselves. When I call your name, will you please stand up? Well, first, a wonderful publicist, Dorothy Weingart, is here, and her husband, Bert. Freddie Rosen. I'm going to tell you more about him in a little while. This guy is Superman. Ed Duglow. Roberta Golden. Sharon Golden. Paul Greenberg. Joyce and Donnie Sachs. Marcy Waxman, Judy Zuckman, I think I got Paul Greenberg. Okay, let me tell you why I'm here. Let me wait a minute till they get in. Okay, I want you to listen to me. I went to this school 60 years ago. I sat right here. I was just like you. I saw the things you see. I heard the things you hear. But there was one difference. I got thrown out. I got thrown out of Roosevelt High School. You know why? I hated school. I decided I don't need school. I decided I'm smarter than all my teachers. I thought, I don't have to graduate from high school. I can have a good life. And guess what? One day, I was playing hooky all the time, and the then principal calls me in, and he says, guess what? You're out. How do you think I felt? Like a chump. I embarrassed my mother, I embarrassed my father, and I had to go to another school, Thule. It's now Roberto Clemente. You heard of it. And I was very unhappy. And I was there about a half a year. And one day, I worked up the courage and I called my principal here at Roosevelt. And I said, please take me back. I'm embarrassed. I want to come back. My friends are here. And he said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. If you stop being a punk, stop playing hooky, go to school every day, I'll take you back. And he said, you have to have a B average. And I did it. So I came back. My grades were so bad. Now check this out. Out of 185 people that graduated in my class, I was 184. I was heading for the toilet. Things were not looking good for this guy. And so it took me 4.5 years to get my high school diploma because I never went to summer school. So I finally graduated here at Roosevelt High School almost 60 years ago, and I didn't know what I'm going to do with my life. So my best friend said to me, you know what? We're never going to go to college. Let's join the Army. I said, okay. So we joined. We went in a buddy system. I go to Korea. You know where Korea is? Raise your hands if you know where Korea is. I went to Korea. He went to Texas. Now, when I got to Korea, it was very bad. It was 20 degrees below zero. I was in a truck. The truck drove me up the side of a mountain near the demilitarized zone. And the truck driver pointed to a place and he said, this is where you're going to live. And it was a hut. It was a Quonset hut. Looked like it was made out of tin. We had no running water. We had no electricity. We had no bathrooms. And that's where I was. And I was there for 16.5 months. And by the way, I'll tell you a little anecdote here. Where I grew up and my friends grew up, unfortunately there was anti-Semitism. I'm Jewish, and in my neighborhood there were some people who called us bad names. And so it was difficult. I had to learn how to fight to protect myself. How many of you are boxing fans? I'm in the California Boxing Hall of Fame. So I know how to fight. But when I went to Korea, some guy